We're back out on the Bass Buggy, and today we're talking about why you'll only ever need 3 colors for your soft plastic baits. We'll discuss what they are and so much more. Stick around. Welcome back to Lowbrow Fishing. And you know, if there's anything an angler loves, it's the color of his baits. We've got to have all of them. We've got to have every single shade, every single hue, even right down to every variation of glitter. We think that it could be that one small thing that will trigger the bass to bite. But we probably shouldn't think like that. Now, in the past, I've done several videos talking about color and why fish don't see colors the way you think they do. I'll link those in the description below. I encourage you to check them out. They're pretty eye-opening. Now, a lot of pro anglers will tell you, keep it simple. They have, at their disposal, an entire tackle store on their boats during a tournament. But most of them only bring a select few colors. Now, why is that? Well, a bunch of colors probably aren't going to do you that much good. Now, a pro angler needs to be ready for every single situation that they encounter. And yet, they're only bringing the most important colors. So that's got to tell you, if they think it's important to keep it simple, then it's probably a good idea to keep it simple. Now, me, I've whittled it down to 3 different colors. With these 3 different colors, you can fish any fishery in the country that's got largemouth, smallmouth, spotted bass, or whatever, and be successful. Now, 2 of these colors you've probably already guessed. They're pretty common and pretty easy to figure out, and that is your good old green pumpkin, or in some cases watermelon red. In other words, a natural color for clear water on sunny days, and for those cloudy days or stained water, something like a June bug or a black blue flake, like this spine craw. Now, these work great on the cloudy days and the stain, and these work great on the clear days in the clear water. That will cover most instances. However, I always like to have a 3rd color with me, something that sets me apart from other anglers on the lake, especially if the water's pressured. And I figured this trick out. This can actually help me get those bites when other anglers aren't able to. We'll head out on the water and we'll discuss a few things about color and a couple other things, and I'll show you what I mean. That mower, that guy came in here and he cut all this up. Gave me some extra places I can fish now, so I'm going to try it with this. I got my own version of a green pumpkin, kind of like a green pumpkin magic color in there, a little bit of green flake. I'm going to try that. Now, I don't know how well it's going to do because this water has some stain to it, and if it doesn't work well, then we'll switch to a darker color. I've got some June bug and I've got some black blue flake. But we're going to fish through here. He opened it up for us with that tractor, so like I said, we're going to make a few casts with this color, and we're going to try it out. I mean, he gave us a couple of new places to work, new places to fish. We'll try them out. And I'm trying to get a sidearm cast going on there, so that way I'm not wasting a bunch of energy and momentum from my bait on altitude. There we are. It's a little bitty guy, but come on, stay down. He's a little bitty guy, but get here. Oh, he's not bad. He's not bad at all. There we go. But we knew they were out there. We knew. Oops, that was. He's a good 1.5 pounds. He's actually a pretty good sized fish. So we are going to get our picture taken with him. We caught him on the June bug stick bait. If I can get you. Let's not long arm it. All right, there we go, buddy. One last look at it. Caught that on the June bug Senko. Remember, that's the kind of the color that you're looking for. You want that darker color when the water's got stained, a little bit of overcast. Thank you for playing, buddy. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. And that's on the homemade stick bait. And I said, I was casting it out there, was bombing it pretty good. Let's see if I can get another one. But whenever you're picking your colors, you have to pick your colors appropriately. Like I said, I like to have a natural color, your green pumpkin, your watermelon red. And then I like to have a darker color, your black blue flake, or in my case, I prefer June bug. And then a color that your, and then a color that works well for your fishery. So I like to do 3 colors. And that third one is the key. That third one is going to be, that third one's going to be the one that you're going to learn how to, that's going to be, that third color is the one that you're going to have to really work with. You'll catch fish on June bug, and you'll catch fish on green pumpkin. But at the same time, you'll really be able to catch your fish if you can isolate the types of colors, because every lake is different. Every body of water, every little pond is completely different. The water clarity is different, the stain is different, everything about it is completely different. So you have to take that into consideration when you're fishing it. You'll have to play around with that third color to see what it is that those fish like. For this little lake right here, for the little lake like this, it's actually a orangey red color, like a what they call Bama craw. That's a color that works well for me. And I can bring it out here, I can use it, and a lot of times, did I miss that one? Yeah, I missed that one. But a lot of times I will have pretty good luck with it. Yeah, he boogered me up too. I felt that one. But again, this is today the sky is overcast. I'm gonna have to swap that worm around a little bit. And don't automatically just throw your worms away whenever you catch a fish. Turn them around. It's not going to hurt anything. Alright, there we go. I turned it around. Now, get back out there. Well, I know they're out there. Now you might think that me saying you having to find a third color on your own for your fishery is a cop-out, but it's not. There are 3 key ingredients to finding out what color will work on your fishery. Number 1 is water clarity. Does it lean more toward stained, or does it lean more toward clear? The dirtier the water is, the darker the color, the darker the hue you want to go. The clearer the water is, the more natural and the lighter color you want to go. The next thing you want to think about when it comes to what colors to select are forage species. What are some of the things that the bass are feeding on? Crawfish, shiners, shad, bluegill, or other types of sunfish. There are so many types of forage species in lakes all across the country that it's very hard to come up with one blanket color. So if you have a particularly muddy water, perhaps a varied neon green or a chartreuse would work for you, or a hot pink. On the other hand, if you're fishing a highland reservoir that's crystal clear at 40 feet, something like this would even work. This is a salt and pepper color. This is just plastic that has no dye, and it's got some glitter in it. In this case, black flake and gold. And this almost looks like a minnow or a shiner, and it works great in those waters that are crystal gin clear. The bass in my area feed on bluegill, and they feed on crawfish, which have a reddish orange tint to them. And the male bluegill have that big reddish-orange bulbous part of the bottom of their belly. The bass see that in this bait and they key in on it as something familiar, and it helps me get more bites. Now the third thing that you have to think about when it comes to choosing what color you want to throw is the time of year. During the bluegill spawn, maybe more of a sunfish color. Perhaps you're on a northern fishery. It's late February or early March. Things are starting to warm up when all of a sudden a cold front blows through and freezes everything. You get a big shad kill. Well, in that case, you may want to go with a simple white or silverish color, something that will mimic all those dead shad that are floating in the water. Because for the bass, they're often out for an easy meal, and something like that is usually too tempting to resist. But bear in mind what forage species are active and what the bass are feeding on. Those are going to be your three key points: water clarity, forage species, and time of year. Using those 3 points, you can pinpoint a color that on any fishery in the country will give you an edge. And you won't have to pack 950 bags of plastics just to make sure you've got the right color. It makes things a lot easier, especially for bank anglers who have limited space to start with. It makes things a lot easier if you keep things condensed, and chances are, if you keep your tackle and your baits focused, you'll end up catching many more fish. So there you have it. Those tips and tricks will help you pick out the 3 colors that you need. One for the dark days with the stained water, another type of color for clear days with gin clear water, and a third color that is specially picked for the fishery that you're on. With those 3 colors and a more focused approach to bass fishing, I'm sure you'll end up getting more bites and landing more fish. Thanks for watching Lowbrow Fishing. We'll catch you in the next one.